Wait, say that again. So you were on Sunday at the meeting.
That finding out that a pint of skim milk is virtually the same as having a beer.
Yeah, milk, same as beer.
And that's alarming. Lisa and I would get through pints of milk thinking it was fairly healthy for us.
Yeah.
And then finding out basically it's the same as sitting there and drinking beer.
Orange juice, even more than beer.
Yeah.
Apple juice, even more than orange juice. These, well, I don't know about fruit juice. I wouldn't know if fruit juice is healthy. It's got vitamins and minerals, but only a bit, doesn't it? And it's
I mean, my son would go and drink so much orange juice that it's unreal.
Yeah.
But now we tell him to water it down.
Kids are burning it off as well, aren't they? But it's when people are, they might get some breakfast cereals, it might be 300 or 400 calories, and then they might have a little coffee that's got 2 sugars, a bit of whole milk in it. What's that? Another 50 calories on top. Then they might think, oh, I'll have a little orange juice on the side, and that's another 150 calories on top. And now it's just adding sugar.
Just goes up and up and up and up and up.
Adding in, isn't it? So, can I do your little introduction?
Go ahead.
Edward, thank you for coming down, man.
No problems.
You're from Chesterfield.
Yep.
So you've come away. Thank you, I appreciate it.
No worries.
You're one of the members of my fat loss program.
I am.
So thank you for coming down. Is it all right if I ask you some questions about what's been going on with your weight loss journey before we met?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, it's fine.
You must have done other fat loss programs before. You must have done other stuff in the past.
I guess there was a number of years where I was in complete denial, I guess,
right,
by the fact that my weight's fine. It's not an issue. You see yourself differently in your mind compared to how other people see it.
Okay.
But I got married 14 years ago, and we decided. Thank you. We decided we wanted to look best, obviously, in our best bib and tucker. So we did Slimming World for 2 or 3 months.
Very nice.
And lost a stone, I think,
yeah.
which was great.
Yeah, good.
That was probably put back on again by the time we came back.
Was that just before the wedding then?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And Lisa and I did that at the same time. We combined it doing the Cal-Vorderman detox stuff.
I don't know about this. Explain.
And made us as miserable as sin, because anything that's got any sort of taste or flavour to it, you can't have.
What banned?
Absolutely banned. So we were having things like milk thistle.
Yeah, what, liver support?
That's
or as food?
Well, as part of your daily intake of
tablets,
stuff.
You mean? Or
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
I thought I didn't know if you were just like, that's what you eat now. Here's a thistle.
Well, it felt like it.
Yeah.
Spirulina was another one.
Yeah,
we had that
like
by tablets.
A green powder. That's got quite a lot of vitamins and minerals.
And then porridge with water.
Okay.
Well, that's wrong in
that
book.
Rule, that's called.
Yeah.
Please, sir, can I have some more?
Exactly. So we did that, and we'll have done various other bits and bobs by getting the latest diet book that comes out, and it goes for about a fortnight. Right. And we lose a bit, we feel great.
Yeah.
But then we've got a social life at the same time.
You are a social butterfly.
We try.
We were just talking about this before the show, weren't we? All the events you've got coming up.
Absolutely.
You're going to Cardiff for the rugby?
No, I'm watching it here.
Oh, you're watching it here, but you're going out for it?
Yeah. So, but you've got to live at the same time as trying to be healthy.
Of course.
And what we found...
Life's about balance, isn't it?
And what we found was that with the Cal-Vorderman thing, for example, you couldn't drink alcohol. Not that we drink a lot, but it's nice to have some every now and again. You couldn't have cheese, and I'm a cheese addict.
Yeah.
And as soon as you've done that once or twice, you've fallen off the diet, and everything
in your
goes
head
to waste.
you've fallen off the diet because it's banned, isn't it? So now you're suddenly off plan.
Yeah.
When in reality, now that we know a little bit more about nutrition, if you eat a little bit of cheese, what's that really going to do?
Not an awful lot.
No, basically nothing. Is it basically nothing in the grand scheme? But with plans that are so prescriptive like that, and they're so, you must do this, you must not do this. As soon as you're on or off, aren't you? There's no flexibility. There's no.
And you don't enjoy the things that you used to enjoy because you feel guilty having those things.
Which is not good either. No. Then you've ruined everything. Then
there's no point in
fun's cancelled. If you do have fun, you also feel miserable about it.
Why sit there having cheese and biscuits, feeling really bad that you're having something that is bad? No, that's not the way it works. So did bits and bobs, and weight just gets putting on and on. And my son's 11. He's playing sport, and I want to be involved in him playing sports. I wanted to run around kicking the ball, and
that's beautiful. So this is another motivation
on
top. That's beautiful.
So we got to August the 1st, the clouds all parted. We've got a mutual friend who used to do martial arts with
we've skipped now to August 1st last year.
Yeah. So we're all the way up there now.
We've gone forward.
And Dan Gore, who's a mutual friend.
I'm going to get him on this podcast soon. I want him to talk about the work he's doing. He does women's self-defense now.
He does, and all sort of mindfulness and everything.
Yeah.
You may need a longer battery on your phone if you're going to get down here. He will talk.
And he talks slow.
Yeah, he does.
He does. He talks slow, not like me. I blast it out. So yeah, it's all right. It's all right.
So Dan had put a couple of your snippets on Facebook.
Nice.
And I looked at it a couple of times thinking, is it just another faffy thing?
Yeah.
But no, gave it some thought. And I'm a believer that you need to get to a point where you just listen to the one source.
Okay.
That if you begin to listen to 3 or 4 different sources, you get 3 or 4 different messages coming through, and that leads to confusion. If you do different diets that say you can eat meat, you can eat dairy, you can eat chocolate, you can drink beer, I'm the sort of person that will take the bad bits out of every 4 and put it into my diet and claim that I'm following 4 different diets, but that's not the way it works.
Nice.
So August the 1st was the day when it all changed. When we had a chat on the 2nd or 3rd of August.
Nice.
And haven't looked back since.
How's your weight loss been going so far since August then?
I'm nearly 3 stone down.
Hit me. That is beautiful. And a lot's gone on in that time. You're changing quickly, not only in body weight, but also in mental attitude and also in preferences and lifestyle.
Yeah. I would say the first, up till Christmas probably, the whole incentive was lose weight. And the first 2 stone came off fairly easily. And since then my journey's now more about being a better me, and if weight loss comes along at the same time,
which it will do,
then that's great.
Nice. So you've taken a little bit of pressure off yourself by maybe you've not started working less, you've just started working on a few different things to improve more well-rounded, I would say. Yeah, and taking a little bit of pressure off from just driving on the weight loss. Let's focus on a few different things.
I think so. I mean, I've set myself a target of 6 stone. Yep. That's where I want to be. So I've still got a fair way to go, and I know this 3 and a bit stone will be an awful lot easier than what I've left or what I've lost so far. But the journey is about being a better me. It's about being a fitter me.
You're big into that now. We're going to talk about that. You're making me a fitter me because you're dragging me into this crap.
Well, I think my weight will probably show that addiction for me is quite a big thing.
Right.
I don't think I would be where I am or where I was without being addicted to the normal bit of alcohol, bit of crisps, bit of chips, bit of cheese, and all that sort of stuff. So hopefully, I've changed around, and doing the cross trainer, doing the treadmill has almost become addictive as doing the food side of things.
Absolutely. Well, they both release endorphins, don't they? They both feel good. You say, if you don't mind me saying, that after you've been for an early exercise session, you feel smug for the rest of the day.
It's the only way, certainly on a Saturday, for argument's sake. Saturday for me is a big sports day. Going out to watch it normally in the afternoon. So if I'm not careful, if I have not done anything in the morning, then that just leads into going to watch sport, and that leads into the takeaway and
because you've not done anything. So there's I'm the same, and I should know better because it's my job to teach people.
Sure.
But if I don't exercise, my diet starts going down the pan immediately. Because if I've not exercised that day, then in my head, my protein intake doesn't need to be as high. So if my protein intake doesn't need to be as high, guess what goes down? Food quality. Yeah. Because now I'm making worse choices. Now when food quality goes down, guess what goes up? Calories. And now it's all going down. Now it's spiraling.
Yeah, it's not just one thing that goes wrong. The whole day goes wrong.
Or when you start with one thing right in the day, then it can all start going right.
So 8 o'clock Saturday morning gym is a regular thing.
That's motivation.
But it works.
You train at Exercise for Less in Chesterfield. You liking that gym?
Absolutely.
They're good gyms, aren't they?
For what I pay, and in terms of what equipment's there.
The equipment's phenomenal.
Bang on.
The equipment's, you couldn't, I've been to hundreds of gyms, and you can't go many places in the world and get more variety of equipment, better well-maintained equipment. It's always brand new equipment because these gyms are quite new. They're popping up everywhere, aren't they? So everything works. How much do you pay?
£10 a month.
Tenner.
And that's guaranteed for life, I think, because we were one of the first 300 to join the Chesterfield one.
What can you say for a tenner? And you've had personal training sessions?
Yeah, that's, as we've discussed, there were good PTs and there were bad PTs.
Yes, No, not yesterday. It's got posted this morning, but my last podcast with Thomas Lee, we were talking about why most personal trainers suck.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about the variance between personal trainers. So you've had 2 personal trainers.
Yeah.
One you weren't so happy with, one you were a lot more happy with.
Yeah, one was, I think she was quite new to it, to be fair to her. But the second one actually sat me down and said, what is it you're wanting to do?
Yeah. Well, the first one didn't.
Not really.
Not really. What are we saying? This is ridiculous.
I mean, it was quite funny.
He didn't ask you what you wanted to, what your goal was.
No, not really.
Okay.
Whereas we sat down.
Bells.
We sat down a week last Friday, and I've known this PT from being in the gym and having the odd chat. And we have the normal sit down. Do you have any injuries? I said, well, my knees aren't great. I dislocated them a few times when I was younger. And over the past few years, I seem to have eaten a lot and drunk a lot, and I seem to have this growth sort of thing around my belly, and really, this is the concern. So so we had a discussion about that.
Nice.
And then had an hour's go around the gym, and it was.
You got beasted.
It was leg day.
It's leg day with women is death.
It was horrendous.
Death. I've made posts and videos before saying I dare anyone to go train legs with a female that knows what they're doing. Oh my lord, they're savage, aren't they? I don't know why, but they can handle the leg training a lot better than men can.
Certainly a lot better than I could. That is for sure.
A lot better than I can.
The first one was the lateral raise, the leg raise machine.
Oh yeah, okay.
And we did various bits on there.
You mean where you sit in and you just push your legs out? Okay.
And we did it for
extension,
5-10 minutes, something like that.
Yeah.
I got off there and felt like my legs weren't my own.
Well, can I say something immediately? That's a good idea, because that's what she would. I've not been there in the situation, but you said about the knees.
Yeah.
That's one of the best things to start off with, to warm up the knees.
That's what she did then.
Yeah. So I would recommend that to you anyway. If you go into the gym and you're going to do some leg training, go on that leg extension machine and go really slow and controlled and quite light. Get some blood into the kneecaps. You can go on the other one as well. If you flipped over onto your front, hamstring curl, light again, slow controlled contractions. Get blood flow into the kneecap, it'll support it a little bit more. If blood goes in, protein goes in, vitamins, minerals, everything that helps it heal and cushion.
And once the PT begins to understand what it is you want, then the trust goes, in terms of you trust her completely. I wasn't overly happy because of experience having my knees to do the proper squats. But she said, no, you'll be fine. We will start off light. We'll build it up.
Was it? Perfect.
Absolutely great.
Amazing.
And then she says, in 48 hours, you're going to hate me because.
And was it true?
Yeah. I did go, this was on the Friday, so I did my normal 8 o'clock the next day and thought, it's not as bad as I think. Went on the
2-day delay.
Went on the cross trainer, not a problem. Thought, what was she talking about? And then Sunday came, and oh my God, we've got a loft conversion at home, so we have to come down 2 flights of stairs. And every time I'm now going, why have we got 2 flights of stairs in the house?
Cursing.
It's just really uncomfortable.
You're thinking about that Stana stair lift?
Oh yeah. That would be absolutely perfect. But no, she was really good, and we've got another session next Thursday.
Beautiful. So I'm kind of similar to you, quite an all or nothing personality, and I have to be very careful in my life with what I allow myself to do, because once I start doing something, I will not stop. Like once I chose to do health and fitness as my job when I was 17 years old, I've basically never taken one single day off ever again, and never plan to, and I will not change. I'll continue doing this until I die. It's to the point where I also have the very addictive personality where I used to have glasses. I had to get laser eye surgery because between age of 15 and 17, I became top 10 in the world on a racing game called Forza Horizon.
Okay, with it,
on the Xbox. And it was absolutely a waste of my entire life. I just sat there this close to the screen until online I became top 10 in the world, and then I thought, when my eyes were dead and I had to get laser eye surgery, I thought, why? So then I gave away the TV. And I've never had a TV since. So since I was 17 or 18, I've never owned a television ever again. I gave away the Xbox, and I've never had a games console. I've never played a single game ever again. Literally, not on my mobile phone, not on anything like that. I just had to cancel it out, because if I begin, and my friends say, why don't you get this game? Why don't you play? You'll love it. And I say, I know I'll love it. That's why I'm not doing it. I used to watch, like TV series, like Netflix series.
I just binge them all the way through.
And I would the last one I ever watched was Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
And unfortunately for me, I found out about Breaking Bad on about season 72. So then I just went under the covers and just came out like a skeleton.
The problem is
beard like really long.
You then go back and work out how many hours you spent watching these things.
It's just impossible. I can't do this. I'm too busy. So again, I had to let that go, and I've never watched another TV series ever again since. People say to me, "Why don't you watch Game of Thrones though? You're going to love it."
Yeah.
And I say, I know, I will freaking love it to the point. It's too late now. If I'd have caught it when they're releasing one episode a week, I would have been able to donate that.
You're going to watch all 6 series in one go.
It's impossible.
Yeah.
Nothing will get done. I've got people to help and stuff to do. So, like you, I have to be careful what I do, and I have to try and channel that. It could be addictive personality, it could also be extreme motivation, it could be laser focus, it could be what you could call it a negative thing like addiction, or you could also spin it in a positive way, because if you laser it on something like exercise, then is that really an addiction? Because can you be addicted to exercise?
I guess, do you normally just get addicted to easy things maybe? I don't know. Whereas the gym side of it, everybody starts off at a certain level, and take the cross trainer for example, back in end of August to do quarter of an hour on it was fantastic. Come off sweaty, achy.
Slogging it.
I'm now up to the point where I can do 10k on it, which is 82 minutes, something like that. But it's all about just pushing yourself that bit further.
Steady. Isn't it just a little bit by a little bit by a little bit?
But until you're told these things, lifting weights is a prime example.
Yeah.
And you had said to me, I don't know, October, November time, that if you only lift 10k in the future, you'll only ever be able to lift 10k.
Oh yeah, if you just stick on the same weight forever, you'll only do the same weight forever.
You don't move on.
Yeah.
And I think I've been guilty of going to gyms in the past and going, well, I can lift that's fine. But actually, so now what I do is I don't allow myself to do the same as I'd done the previous trip.
Yeah.
So even if it's 1 rep more.
Perfect. Progress.
And it's all written down on the phone, and so now it's pushing myself.
It's amazing.
Each time.
It's like one of my favourite phrases: "What gets measured gets managed."
But unless you're told these things, or it's explained to you.
Yeah.
Like the whole diet thing, that the whole one day doesn't make your diet, one day doesn't destroy your diet. Again,
that's a nice way of putting it.
But unless you're told these things, you don't know, do you?
No, because it's easy to get lost in different perspectives, isn't it? Because the human brain's wired to be kind of short term. We want to be happy now.
Yeah.
And exercise and diets and stuff like this, it's a very stoic thing, which means to delay pleasure now to receive something greater in the future. Because if you go to the gym today, you'll get nothing. You'll get nothing positive. You'll go there, you'll end up tired, you'll end up sweaty, your muscles will hurt, you've burnt energy, you might be a little bit fatigued, you might be more hungry. I mean, these are not positives, are they? But the next time you go in, you're fitter, you're stronger, you're slimmer. The reward's delayed on it, and it's the same as going to work. You go to work on Monday, you get nothing. You go on Tuesday, nothing. You go for the week, nothing. Only at the end of the month do you get paid. So work's also stoicism. No, you don't want to go to work, but you're going to do it anyway, because at the end of the month you'll receive something greater. Same as it's kind of the same pattern for achieving anything in life. Diet's the same, isn't it? We both eat 0 calories today. We wake up tomorrow, we'll look the same.
Yeah.
We've not slimmed down any significant amount in one day. So you have to put in the work first to receive the reward later in the future. So it's difficult to see that perspective until you think over it and mull over it and meditate on it and get told it and then experience it, and then it feels good, doesn't it, when you get that reward.
And that is why gyms should employ one person, and their only job is to go round to every person and say, you look better. Because let's face it, when we go to the gym, what are we going for? We're going to lose weight, get toned, put on muscles, be fitter. So you want people to recognise that that's what you're doing. So if they had one person, or the receptionist, every time you walked in, said, you look better, you've lost weight.
That'd be feel good.
Because I've known it over the last few weeks when people that I've known have come up and said, what's going on here? You seem to have lost weight. I think they want to check that I'm not ill, first of all.
But you're not upset about something.
exactly.
Something really bad's happened.
Yeah, but guys and lasses in the gym are coming over and saying things are moving in the right direction. What is it you're doing?
But you're making big changes.
And then I drop your name in.
Thank you very much, sir. I always appreciate that little flirt there.
Not a problem.
And it does feel good, because I think, especially for English people, it takes a lot for an English person to give a compliment to another English person. We're pretty reserved. Like, if somebody pushes in front of us in a queue, we won't even say shit. We'll just
no, it's true. And a couple of good mates of mine have not wanted us to say anything because they feel uncomfortable saying to another bloke, "You've lost weight, you're looking good."
Yeah.
And I've known these lads for 30 years, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But still not comfortable to say.
So exactly, so for another person to go out of their way and then compliment you, that means it's a big change, isn't it? Because, I don't know, it's difficult to see change in yourself as well, isn't it? So that's another reason why it's nice when other people compliment you, because you see yourself every day.
Yep.
Don't you? You like we just said, we both eat 0 calories today. We wake up tomorrow, we look the same. So we're like, right, Edward, me and you, we're dieting today. We're like, we look in the mirror. Okay, we're ready. we diet. We're on salads only. We're on the was it Carol Vorderman?
Carol Vorderman. We've had a spirulina. We've had our milk thistle.
Yeah, we've done it all. We wake up tomorrow. We're the same. Okay, it's fine. It's only been one day. Wipe off the brow, we'll go again. And then you wake up tomorrow, you look the same. And that's because no matter how many days you do that, it's only ever been one day since the last time you saw yourself. You can't remember what you looked like 2 weeks ago. So it's nice if I only see you once every 2 weeks, I will notice, won't I? You might go see your friends every couple of weeks or whatever, and then you've gone down to them. You've made a significant reduction throughout your entire body, where you just see.
You see bits and bobs in terms of taking the dog for a walk and doing the same walk every day. We walk up a hill, and that hill is now not an issue.
You're feeling better.
Clothes, I've moved down 2 sizes in jeans, which is huge. I've now got a wedge of jeans that I'm never going to get back in because they are far too big. Yeah. But I'm keeping them there just to prove a point, because at some point, hopefully when the 6 stones has gone, I want to have that photograph of a thin bloke with the big jeans. It's a little bit like it now, but it's not as impressive as I would like
that
it
is
to be.
Really nice.
But 6 stones.
That'll be a visual representation and a memory for you.
October the 2nd is my date for when I want the next. There's a beer festival in the States that I'm aiming at, and the deal with the wife is that if I hit that mark.
3 stone by then?
Yeah.
That's easy. We've got loads of time.
But I'm living at the same time, though.
Good, I hope so. I hope so, because how long have you got? 6 months?
Yeah.
So exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That is not even aggressive.
That's the target that I've set myself, so let's wait and see. And if I get there, it will just be, it's getting to the point now where it's life-changing. 3 stone gone is life-changing. But I've still got more to go.
It's not going to stop.
No.
There's no reason it's going to stop.
I don't think it will.
There's no reason it's going to stop. I'm not going to let you stop. You can try and run away. I will catch you. I'm training because of you. So I think that's another thing we should talk about.
The 10K.
So you started the weight loss journey. You came to me to talk about nutrition.
Yep.
We started bringing the weight down with nutrition, and then you found out that you love exercise, don't you? At first, not what? Yes. What would you like it at the beginning, or is it just what you've gotten into?
I used to do a fair amount of spin classes, and in a sick sort of way, I used to quite enjoy that.
Okay.
But I've never been built to run, so the challenge was there.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't say I've turned myself into a runner yet, but
that's
the plan. And if things work out the way we want them to work out, then I think doing a 10K I can probably class myself as a runner, I think.
It's going to happen. You've already said you can do 10K on a cross trainer.
Yeah.
You've already done 10K on a treadmill.
I've done 8.
You've done 8, exactly. And I'll point out, because you take all my advice perfectly on board and do exactly as you're told, and I love it so much, that's flirting with me as well if you do what I say. You've got the treadmill on like a 3% incline. Yes, because treadmill, it's not real running if it's on flat. It's like skipping without the rope. You just jump up and down on the spot and the floor moves under you. If you did that, it's skipping. It's not real. Yeah. But if you've got it on a 3% incline, which makes it roughly about the same resistance as if you're running on flat outside. Because outside you have to strike and move your body through space. With your leg pushes you forward through space. And when you've got the treadmill on a slight incline, it does the same. So if you don't, you'll just slip off the back. Won't you?
Yeah.
So You've done 8, basically. I've done 7.5.
But you've done it outdoors though?
That's true. I have done it outdoors, that is true. So you started off on this exercise stuff, you've really gotten into the fitness.
Yeah.
How many times a week are you training?
5.
5, bloody hell, that's more than me, and I'm a personal trainer.
I've not been yesterday, and I'm not going
Good.
today.
Good.
And that's the only second 2 days
Settle yourself down.
since Christmas, Boxing Day.
And you've only stopped because you've got a bit of a pull.
Yeah,
Talk to me about that, what's going on?
I think it's linked from the leg day I had with the personal trainer.
Right.
And probably going the next day probably wasn't the wisest thing.
You didn't feel anything while you were doing
No,
the
not really.
Okay.
But whether it's a muscle pull rather than a tear, maybe.
Could be an overuse injury
Maybe,
as well. Yeah.
maybe. So 2 days not doing, actually 2 days doing nothing, might be the answer for
You
it.
said what was your step count yesterday?
Less than 3,000, which is
3,000.
shocking.
That's like, I don't even know. Have you been wearing roller skates?
Absolutely, it was in the car into meeting into car, meeting sofa, and
That's
that was
normal
basically
people's lives, you know. Do you know when people join the program, the average step count's 3,000 for an office worker?
Whereas the reason for the smugness on a Saturday is by the time I've been in the gym for an hour and a half, 2 hours, 14,000.
I was just going to say
15,000.
15,000. I know. I was just going to say, what's your average step count on a weekday?
13ish.
13.
Probably.
That is good.
Probably somewhere around there.
And what are you doing to get it to that? Is it gym sessions? It's
Yeah,
at the gym
it
and
is.
getting it into
Yeah, I mean it's walking the dog.
Nice.
That's probably a couple of K probably, but it's an hour on the cross trainer and half an hour on the treadmill probably.
And I know it sounds like a lot, like you're doing that every day, but you're putting in the work and you get exactly what you deserve.
Yeah.
Like I teach on the program, step count, having a high step count is your second best fat loss tool, and fat loss is your goal, isn't it? It's the main goal anyway. It's what we're still working on at the minute. So your number 1 tools, bring the calories down in the diet. You already did that instantly.
Mm-hmm.
Your second tools, get a high step count. You're nailing it. Your third tools, do formal exercise. You're doing that.
Yeah.
Your fourth best tools, protein intake. So we're getting there.
Yeah,
aren't we?
it's interesting because obviously part of this system you learn how important protein is, especially if you're exercising at the same time.
Like, you are like a savage exercising every day.
But I mean, I don't know. Probably before this, probably proper exercising, protein intake would have been around the 60 gram mark. Probably.
And again, that is perfectly normal. That is an average protein intake that I would say 50 to 60 grams for a man, 30 to 40 grams for a woman.
So I've probably doubled that.
Perfect.
Not by doing anything particular, but just being more conscious of what foods are there. So plenty of eggs. I was always having sandwiches and that sort of stuff. That has dropped out.
Has it? Yeah.
And it's not
You've become a big salad man.
Yeah,
You've completely reverted. You're better than me now. You should take my job, you know.
Well, it also helps with Lisa as well, my other half.
Yeah.
She's not good with bread and carbs and that type of thing. So
you're bloated or...
Yeah, it just doesn't suit her at all. Yeah. So doing salad from the Leon book.
I was just going to say, big up the book. Big up the book.
Drop them
Leon the book.
huge,
That's an actual real restaurant, isn't it?
Yeah. They're a fast food type.
Manchester?
Yeah, and I think there's quite a few in service stations, and they tend to be next door to KFC and McDonald's and these sorts.
I've never been to one.
And it's really good.
I've heard it's good. Other members in the group like it. They've said they've been before, and you've inspired other people to get that Leon salad book, and they've really liked it.
So just changing your diet slightly.
Does it say the calories in the Leon book? Does it?
No, but you can go onto the internet and find out where the calories are. And you know what I'm like? I do tend to over exaggerate.
You do, and that's a good trait. So the program, as you know, but for people at home anyway, it's a fully online program. Mm-hmm. Nobody has to go anywhere. They don't have to come and see me if they don't want to. But you do. You put in extra effort, and the people who put in more work, they always get more reward, always. So like you've come down to talk to me now, and I appreciate it. We also have optional meetings on Sundays at the showroom cinema. So nobody has to come, and I reckon 50% of people have never been.
Okay.
Something like that. But you came down on Sunday. They're on the 6 steps to slim. We're on the 6th one, which is entitled Liquids and Hydration. A massive part of it's calorie management through liquids. As part of that, there's a calorie guessing game. So it's got stuff like if you go to a Starbucks or a Costa, like drinks like that, what would it be like? If you go to a pub or a bar, can we guess the calories in different alcoholic drinks? There's condiments like this as well. Do you know the different? How much is it for a tablespoon of ketchup, how much is it for mayo, how much is it for salad cream, and there's a variety of ones. You guessed way over every single damn time.
But you can't be wrong by going down that route.
I know. When we do sometimes we do guess the calorie game inside the actual 6 Steps to Slim group, where somebody will post a meal that they do know the calories of, and then everybody will guess what it is. And I always say there's 2 winners. It's whoever gets closest and whoever guesses highest.
Yep.
So you just put 10,000, you always win.
Well, I think, you know, I'm the size I am, so I have more calories that I can intake each day.
Compared to somebody smaller.
Yeah, indeed. So I've got more wiggle room, I guess.
Let us know, what are you working with calories at the minute then?
I'm working personally on about 1,800, 1,900.
Also known as savagely low.
But I know in the back of my mind that on maintenance days I can probably go 2,500, 2,600.
Yeah, I was going to say probably even a little bit more, because that's not including your exercise.
But the thing, if I aim for the 1,800, then things like putting bread onto whatever it is, I wouldn't necessarily log that.
Yeah.
But because I know I've got this spare calorie intake,
butter on?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Then so I don't go down to every small piece to put into the app.
Oh yeah, so you're not calorie counting every little nitbit.
Because I know I've got 800
good.
spare.
Exactly.
It just makes life easier.
Of course. So the only reason we do the calorie counting, as you know, is for education.
Yeah.
And you already know what you're eating.
Yeah.
You can stop calorie counting anytime you want, because you don't need to do it anymore. You can just look at food and you know whether that's appropriate or not.
But you still learn things like that.
As
from Sunday morning when it came for the lecture. This I thought ketchup was really bad.
Quite high calories.
20,
good memory.
20 calories.
20 calories for a tablespoon.
Which compared to mayonnaise was just absolutely nothing.
Mayonnaise is 100.
Yeah.
It's 5 times more for mayo, and that's not even low sugar ketchup.
But I think whoever we are, we're always told it's packed full of sugar. Yeah. It's really bad for you.
I mean, it's got sugar, but only a bit.
Yeah. So I was really surprised. So I'm now having ketchup with most meals.
Yeah, that's me as well. You know, if I go burgers or something like this, I'm trying to keep the calories down. So no, I don't. I do want burger, of course, but no, I'm going to take bacon off, especially if it's streaky bacon, because I don't really like that anyway. But then I'm not going to get mayo on it, but I am going to put ketchup on it, because the mayo is going to blast it with calories, and the ketchup's not really. So I'm going to ketchup that burger, and I'm going to like it.
And the other thing was milk.
Yeah.
We get through shed loads of milk at home. And I'll sit there and I will drink a pint without any issues. Yeah. I'm finding it was virtually the same in terms of calories
as a pint of beer.
That was shocking. So, you know, okay, I'm 4 or 5 months down the path, but you're learning constantly, which is what it's about, isn't it?
I'm still learning. Do you know what I learned last week? If you eat a full box of Kellogg's Crunchy Nut, it's 2,000 calories.
Yep.
I did not know that until I ate one.
And if the leader's doing these sort of things and learning from it, then it's all good, isn't it?
That's why I always say I'm a teacher and not a guru, because a guru is somebody who's already there.
Sure.
They've already finished. A guru is somebody who's already perfect. They're somebody that makes you better by them they're so good that they don't even have to do anything to you. You just be near them and watching how good they are improves you. I'm not necessarily that amazing. I'm on the journey just like you. I do not pretend that I do not struggle. I do not pretend.
And I think that's why the whole thing worked. You know, it doesn't come across as being a preachy type of thing. So that's why the whole process has worked over the last few months.
Currently, I'm checking into my own group too.
Yeah.
With my own dieting habits, I'm going to check in tonight too, because I'm also dieting too.
And you look as strange as the rest of us, walking around the supermarket, picking up everything, looking at the barcode and the calories on the back, and then going, no, I'll put that back.
I used to live down here at Kellam Island, and I had to get to know the people at that Tesco, because I think they must have thought I was a weirdo or I'm robbing, because I literally, especially new items, it's my job to know about food. I'm interested in food. This is why I got into it.
Yeah.
So I like knowing what calories are in things, and I like looking at the protein on stuff. And to look at the protein, annoyingly, you've got to pick things up and turn it over, because it says a load of bull crap on the front that's not important, like how much salt it's got, like we care, how many grams of fat it's got. Do we care? A tiny bit. Then how many grams of that fat are saturates? Has saturated fat ever come up in the 6 Steps to Slim cycle? No. Has fat intake even come up? No. Has carbohydrates even come up? No, because these things are not important. Salt, does that? No. If it's got more salt, good. It makes low calorie things taste better. As long as you're hydrated, there's no detriment. So it's
because the amount of salt you'd have to take in to make it
ridiculous.
Bad
You wouldn't be able to.
You'd have to be there actually spooning it in.
You'd be sick, honestly. They've done studies where they've over-salted people, and just awful, like grams and grams and grams of salt has to be on things.
But it's, having gone down this journey, you do begin to learn quite quickly that you pick up something and it says 105 calories, and then in the smallest writing, and I mean really small, this is for a quarter of the pack.
Yeah, serves 11 people. It's like one biscuit.
Yeah, and you go, well, that's not a meal.
What is this?
So how they can get away with calling it healthy or low fat or whatever?
Yeah,
no.
That's how they get away with it, because they put on a ready meal that it's served. They've got the green light system or whatever on the front of packages, haven't they? Where it's got green, orange, or red.
Yeah.
It's lit up with like whether it's a high amount of calories or a low amount of calories or whatever, and they've based it on 2,000 calories for a female, which is a bit random anyway, because most females probably need less than 2,000, and for men that's probably way too little unless you're dieting.
Yeah.
So that's a random number to go by anyway. But then so that they just don't have to plaster red across the front of everything, they put that it serves 2.
Yeah.
Now it's halved.
You do
now everything's green.
You do pick up and look at the traffic light system and go, well, I don't see how this can possibly be all green.
No.
It just makes.
And it's not personalised to you, so it's not what's green for me might not be green to you.
But what it's showing is that doing your home cooked food is by far the best way.
Of course.
Once you know what foods you can have and what you can't have. But I'm turning into somebody that just has mushrooms, spinach, eggs.
Yeah.
That's what I tend to have when I come back from the gym. I wouldn't have been like that 4 or 5 months ago. It would have been a sandwich, it would have been a packet of crisps.
How's it got to that point? How have all these changes taken place? I mean, obviously it's been through the program and stuff, but it's radical.
It's by just knowing, certainly from a food point of view, it's just a case of knowing what foods are there that actually work. And actually, you can end up with a massive plateful of mushrooms, spinach, and eggs.
Mushrooms are basically free.
Yeah.
There's 16 calories for 100 grams.
Yeah.
That means the full punnet's like 45 calories
and
or
I
something.
probably
It's like,
have
what? Get it down you.
Half a punnet, 2 massive handfuls of spinach.
Spinach is
3
basically
eggs.
free. Yeah.
So I think a massive plateful can
that's
be
like 200, 250.
Yeah. And then you put some hot sauce over the top.
Yeah, that's basically free.
So if you think, not that I would do it, but if you had that 3 times a day, you would fill yourself up nicely 3 times.
You might be under 1,000 calories.
It'd be less than 1,000 calories.
That's what some ladies have to do.
Sure.
Yeah, because some ladies we have. How tall are you?
6'3".
6'3", bloody hell. I'm only 5'9", so you're towering over me. So yeah, you're quite right. As a bigger guy, like I always use the analogy of like food in the bodies, like petrol in cars. You're a saloon car, you're 6'3". I'm like a Ford Fiesta, like a normal sized medium car.
Am I supposed to say here, no, you're not, you're something more than that?
Oh no, that'd be cute if you did. That'd be cute if you did. We have a lot of ladies who are mopeds.
Yeah.
They're tiny. We have ladies. I've got a consultation with a lady coming up. She sent me a message. She's 4'9".
Oh my word.
Oh my word.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. But we've got loads of ladies that are 5 foot, 5'1", 5'2". You're a Fiat 500. You don't take much fuel, literally. So it does scale, but for some people, they do have to get the calories that low. Like we teach, you don't have to eat healthy. As you know, you can eat whatever you want as long as you fit it into your calories. But if you're trying to keep those calories down, it helps to get.
But there are things out there that you can fill your plate with and keep down calories big time.
And we teach the 3-step meal building process, don't we? Which you employ beautifully, whether you realise it or not. Which is number 1, choose protein source first.
Yeah.
So you said eggs is your protein source in that meal you just described. Boom. That's how you get into above 100 grams per day. Did you say on protein intake? That's amazing. Second one is choose complementary food volume, basically also known as fruit and veg, that goes with the protein source you just picked. So if you chose egg as your protein source, you've chose spinach and you've chose mushrooms.
Yeah.
I like to make an omelette sometimes. I might blast a few cherry tomatoes in. I like peppers and onions. For me personally, in an omelette, they're basically free as well. Basically no calories, because you need that protein intake. It boosts the metabolism, it protects the immune system, protects the hormones, keeps you fuller for longer than anything else. But if you just ate 3 eggs, that's a bit lame, isn't it? Or if you just ate a chicken breast on its own, that's not going to work out.
And you're going to do it for what? A day,
you're going to
2
be sick
days?
of it. Yeah, you've got no variety, you've got no food volume, it's not fun. So we need to bulk it out, because hunger's probably your main enemy on your fat loss diet. So we need to bulk it out. The proteins getting rid of some of the hunger, but we need more actual food volume to fill that stomach cavity. So we get some veg on there as well. In your case, spinach and mushrooms, boom. And then the third step of the 3-step meal building process is make it taste nicer, make it a bit more fun, jazz it up a little bit. But again, be careful of the calories. One of the phrases that I use is be careful of the calories in the condiments and the carbohydrates.
Sure.
All the C's.
Yeah.
What did you say? Hot sauce.
Hot chili sauce.
Boom! The spices have got basically no calories. Yeah. So the spicier the sauce you go for, generally the less calories
I think looking on the back of it, I would need to have spoon and spoonfuls
to make any significant impact.
To make any difference.
And I really love your attitude towards all this kind of stuff, because you've employed it all perfectly. Like, you're not nitpicking on the calories. Like, I don't care whether you know exactly how many calories of that hot sauce it is, because it's basically none. It's not mattering.
No, if I've had 300 calories from what's in the bowl, and I've put a load of sauce on and it's 50, hey, it's 350 calories for the meal.
I'm not going to lose any sleep. You're overestimating anyway. Don't you just round it up a bit.
Yeah.
Exactly. So the same with your salads as well. What would be a protein source that you'd have in your salad when you make one of these Leon salads? Fish.
Tuna is quite a big one. Beans.
Yeah, very nice. Nice vegan protein source in there.
But eggs is still the main one. Chickens in a lot of them.
Very nice.
Red meat, we've never had a huge amount of red meat, but it's a pretty good protein source.
Yeah, it's good protein source for sure.
But yeah, so chicken is still...
Yeah. So even in these salads again, you're choosing that protein source, one of those you just listed, you're getting that nice salad on, and you're following a cookbook which specifically makes it taste nice.
Yeah.
Because one of the tips I give in the vegetable eating lecture, like, people are probably listening to this and thinking, yeah, but I don't like vegetables. And I'm thinking, yes, I know.
There's something in that book that you like, there's no doubt.
It's getting made by professional chefs, and then it's getting taught to you through the book. Probably if you don't like vegetables, you just suck at vegetables. That's probably the game, isn't it? If I tried to make a salad, it'd be awful, because I don't like salads. I don't eat salads very often. I don't know what I'm doing. I can't cook up a nice salad. It's just going to be plain, and I'm not going to enjoy it that much. You've had practice making salads. You've ordered salads in different places, I assume. You've gone through this cookbook. You've practiced. You've tested. You know what you like. You know what you don't like. You know how to jazz things up a little bit. You've practiced and you've got into it.
And it works for us by the fact that we'll make I will make a big one the night before. Lisa and I will have it that night, and then Lisa will take it to work the next day.
Very nice.
So it just fits into
the lifestyle that we've got. It's making it fast as well.
I do get moaned at if I haven't gone down that route, and Lisa has to take a pot noodle to work or something like that. I do tend to get it in the neck, but by and large, that's what we're tending to. You're talking to a guy who's now eats corn.
Yeah, you've commented about this loads of times. I see it on the group, you saying you would have never eaten corn.
6 months ago, I used to walk past it and go, what are you doing?
Would you been like turning your nose away?
You've got proper meat just over there, and you're picking up this stuff. It's all right.
Corn's all right, isn't it?
It's
actually all right. You have to be careful with it, because if you overcook it, it becomes soggy. Because it is a mushroom, basically. It's a fungus, isn't it? So if you overcook it, it becomes a bit soggy. So I made the same mistake a couple of times where I'd try and make a spaghetti bolognese with corn, and I'd put it in, like the corn, first, like you put the mince in, to like try and cook it off for a while, and by then it's mushy and dead, and then you try, and it's just watery awful. But I learned I'm doing it wrong. But don't be a stereotypical man. Follow the instructions on the damn packet, which says put it in 5 minutes before the end.
They do a kebab meat version. Shawarma it's called or something.
Okay, I don't know.
And for half a pack, which is a fair amount, it's 130 calories. So again, that goes into the eggs and spinach and mushroom mix, and it's an extra source of protein for an extra 100 calories.
Completely agree. It's one of the best vegan sources of protein. But some corn products are vegan, some are vegetarian, because some contain egg whites. But
I never thought I'd have corn in my fridge at any point.
It's healthy. It's got good protein. It's low calories. It's like corn sausages. I'm a bit picky about food personally. I won't really eat a normal sausage unless I know that it's a good quality sausage. I'm not really going to eat that. I don't really like the idea of reformed meats unless I know where and what it's reformed from. So would I recommend anybody goes around eating a load of sausages? Probably not. And the actual protein, if you know anything about quality of protein in pork and lamb, is lower than in other meat sources anyway. So technically it's not got as good amino acids as other ones anyway. So rather than a pork sausage, I would rather go for a corn sausage. Or I don't know if you've ever tried Linda McCartney's soya ones.
You see, that's one step too far.
You said that last time, Edward. We'll get there. You said that about the cardio. You said that about the weight loss. You said that about the corn.
It will happen at some point.
I'll get you there. I'll come round to mine. We'll get some low sugar ketchup. We'll be going in.
Okay.
One last thing I want to talk to you about. You've been bringing me along this fitness journey as well. You're motivating me as well, because we've signed up to Chatsworth 10K in June. So if anybody's going,
it is getting closer.
Me and Edward, and also Becky Creel from the group. Shout out. It's not getting close. Well, it is getting close. I suppose every second technically it's getting closer. It's always getting closer. Well, it's not getting further, is it? But we've got loads of time. But didn't you sign up with a friend and then they backed out?
Yeah, I mean, it's been spoken about for a while, and the lad I was going to do with it no longer can.
Yeah, okay.
But a bit of a sad story. One of my friends from university, his son, who's the same age as my son, died in the start of December. He had an asthma attack which led to a cardiac arrest, and he died at home. So it's affected their family hugely, but having a son the same age, it's really affected me. So I wanted to get my teeth into something, and saw an advert for Chatsworth 10K and thought, that's it. Not done anything like it before.
No, not done anything like it ever before. You've not even ran outside before.
Out of the comfort zone.
Yeah.
But if you can't do it for something like this, then you know, you need to question yourself in terms of what you're doing. So, spoken to Marcos at Wakefield University. He's completely behind it. He's coming to run it with us at the same time. His brother-in-law, who also shared a house with us at university, he's coming up. So there may well be a group of us. So 30th of June, first 4K uphill, then 2K on the flat, and then we go downhill.
4K downhill.
But we'll be okay.
Because I remember you'd signed up with someone, you posted it into the group. I was like, yeah, go for it. Awesome, Edward, you'll be amazing.
And I need a friend to do it with.
Yeah, and then that guy couldn't do it, and then you posted into the group again, saying I need somebody to do it, and I'm thinking, there's a difference between a manager and a leader here. Managers tell people what to do and leaders go from the front, don't they? So I'm the leader of the group. What am I going to do? Am I going to let this gentleman, who's never even done anything like this before, he's this motivated and doing it for a good cause, am I going to let him do this on his own? And secondarily, if I don't do this, probably some of the ladies are going to step up from the group, and then I'm going to get outmatched by them. So I'm going to get outmatched by my own members, because they are going to step up to the plate and they are going to support you. So I thought, shit.
And I think there are still some members in the group who haven't put their hand up yet to come and do it.
They could do, easily.
I think there's a few that are doing the couch to 5K. If you can do.
What, and you think secretly in the background they might be?
I think so. I think there's a few that are eyeing it and going, I reckon I can do this.
I reckon they can as well.
But I've always said, get it signed up and that will make you do it.
I went running with Becky Creel, other person who's coming from the group to do it with us, who signed up so far. She'd only ever done 4K. We did 7.5.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Just by, I paced her a little bit because we started running. She just set off. I was like, all right, bye then. Where are you going?
Supposed to be running together.
Penelope pit stop. She just went shoot. I went, woo, slow down. We've got a long way to go, don't you know? She's like, oh, I can only ever run 20 minutes. I'm like, yeah, this is freaking why. I know you're steady. So we slowed down. We were running around Endcliffe Park. We did 2 laps. It's 2.5K per lap. But after the second lap, she was flagging a little bit, and I said, one more, and she was like, no. So then I started a conversation and distracted her away, and we ran past the start line again. Yeah. And by the time we'd gone about 20 metres past the start line, I was like, oh, look back there. Look what we went past. What a shame. And then she started to get a bit flustered. She thought, oh, crap, another round. And she started speeding up again. I think she thought she'll get it over and done with quicker. I said, you better watch it. You get back here right now. And we just pace.
I think as a group, it's
going to be better. It's team support. But what do you think about the team support inside the weight loss group?
It's just awesome.
It's unbelievable, isn't it? It's not me that gets good results in the group. It's everyone together.
On those days when you report you've had bad days, you know, the comments that come after it.
Everyone has those bad days, don't they? So they feel it for you, don't they?
Yeah.
They recognise.
And nobody hides anything.
No.
Or those that come onto it don't hide anything. There's no making things up. Everybody's open and honest.
Because I'm open and honest. Because I say openly that I ate a full box of Kellogg's Crushing Up for 2,000 calories.
Yeah.
And I'm still slim. And I like doing that to people because they think, what? Like one time I went up to one of the meetings and I got double sausage egg McMuffin before I went up. And I got there and I'm like, well, we've screwed it. I'm the boss and I've been for McD's breakfast. What we're going to do? And I want them to see that they can. That it's not about being perfect. that I'm not nutritional Jesus.
Yeah.
I'm not even trying to be. If I only ate salads every day, that'd be freaking boring. I want to eat chocolate. I want to go out for a drink. I want to enjoy nice food. I want to go out to nice restaurants.
And on this, you can.
Exactly.
Without
yeah.
any issue.
Yeah, I want to be the living proof of it, and this is why I also tell stories about my family and stuff like this, because all my family are overweight too.
Okay.
The females in my family, polycystic ovary syndrome. Males in my family, some of my family are in the group, following the weight loss program. Males in my family, type 2 diabetes. I'm not naturally like this. It's not an accident that I'm like this. Like, I walked here now.
Yeah.
I don't have to walk. It took an hour. I'm just looking at the windows now and it started raining. And you know what? I'm walking back. And I don't have to. And then I'm going to exercise and I don't like it. I've never liked exercise once. I've never thought, oh, it'll be fun to go get tired and sweaty. I'd rather sit at home and watch a TV series like we spoke about and eat pizza. Yeah.
But
honestly,
but that feeling of having done something though, that's we spoke about addictions earlier on, and we're probably not addicted to the exercise bit of it. It's the addiction to the feeling after, and that's the endorphins coming through.
Again, that's one of the things we teach as a fundamental on the program, to understand principles and methods and tools for jobs and what your actual goal is and what tool gets what result and what you actually want and why. So it's not, people think, oh, I don't like exercise. No, not many people like exercise. No. You're not supposed to freaking like the exercise. You like the reward that it brings.
Exactly.
Do you know what I like? Chocolate and being slim. Do you know what that requires? Exercise.
Indeed.
Doesn't it? It's not that I like the exercise. It's that I like being in good shape. I like being fit. I like being able to have the option to do a nice 10K. No, good. You need me to move. Can you squeeze through? Apologies. I like the option to be able to do those things. I like to feel good. I like my knees not to hurt.
Yeah.
Stuff like this. For me personally, it's mostly it's a shallow aesthetic thing. I just like to try and look in shape, essentially. But I also like food as much as anybody. I understand. Again, I'm empathetic towards people. I understand food's one of the biggest pleasures in life.
Yeah.
And if you swing too far towards any extreme ideology in life, it draws away from other areas, to the point where if you only exercised every single day and you only ate salads, you might be like, oh, look at me, I'm better than everybody else, look how slim I am, I'm holier than thou. But then good luck. I'm going to go on holiday all inclusive and I'm going to have a great time and I'm going to come back and I'm still going to be slim and I'm going to go out for a few drinks with my friends and I am going to order pizza, and you watch me, I'm going to go walk it off after. You watch me walk away while you be sad. Similarly, if you went the other way, food's one of the biggest pleasures in life. If you try and draw all the pleasure from food that you can, it just becomes pain, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because you have to pay for it. So you can pay for it now in exercise, or you can pay for it later in body fat and health loss eventually down the line, can't you? So
that goes back to the smugness of going to the gym on a Saturday morning, going there for an hour and a half. To be fair, part of the smugness is I leave my wife in bed, my son fast asleep, and by the time I come back, I've done my 16,000. And
you've done it all. I'm going to drop you in it right now. Before you came for this podcast, you went for a beer, didn't you?
Yeah.
Good. I don't want you to feel bad. Good. You deserve to fit that in. You've lost tons of weight already. You could have driven here, but you didn't. You've gotten the train, and then you've walked it, and then you're going to walk back up. You do your exercise every day. You deserve to do these things. So now, the reason we started talking about this is you're dragging me along with this. You're motivating me. I get as much motivation from the group as they get from me.
Sure.
Literally, you think I can come and talk to you about all this stuff that you're doing and then go and eat loads and then I'm exercising tonight. You think I can go sack it off after this?
Yeah.
It's impossible, isn't it? I've got to lead from the front. So now I've ended up signing up to this flipping 10K as well. I've never liked running. I've ran 5Ks and then thought, if anything wants to chase me further than 5K, I'll just play dead.
But if you just think about the feeling at the end of it, we'll have hopefully raised some money.
Now I'm getting into it.
Yeah.
If we can raise some money, that would be beautiful, wouldn't it?
And to stand there with the 10K medal or whatever it is, you do realise that the first 200 get a free Bakewell tart.
Get a free Bakewell.
I'm cutting that out. I'm going to take my own Bakewell tart with
We'll
me.
buy Bakewells. Exactly. we'll walk around after the end of it holding Bakewells like we were in the first.
Probably one in each hand, pretending we were in the top 10.
That'd be amazing.
And we got two.
I came first twice. How do you feel now? Double Bakewells. I know, I agree. That's really nice though. That's a little incentive. There's no way I'm getting into the top 200.
I think we'll be far, far away from
Do you have any estimation on time? That it might take?
Just sometime that day is really
if we just get to the
I
end.
don't know, I've looked at the times that were done last year, and some were basically doing it in a time where you could walk
How
whole
long?
thing.
A couple of hours?
Yeah.
2-3 hours?
I would like to think, I'm not going to, I'm going to say
We're not going below an hour and a half, there's no way. It'll be an hour 15 or less.
I think 80 odd minutes, would be a fair time. I just don't want to be last.
Well,
and if it's us,
we won't be last.
And if it's us three at the back, I'm kicking you in the ankle and I'm sprinting to the finish line to make sure you're
good. You leave me behind. Don't be last. You know how many people though sign up to these things and do no training? It's loads. I mean, I've worked in gyms for years. The amount of people that say, "Oh, I signed up to Sheffield Half Marathon," and then they try and train. They procrastinate until 2 weeks before. Think, shit, I better do something.
Yeah.
And then they get injured. They either go on the run and they quit halfway, or they sack it off and they feel bad about themselves, or they've already taken donations back in January, and it's so they've signed up to it. They've committed. They've told everybody. The problem with doing that is what people usually want. Part of it is a little ego boost to say I've done it, but if you say you're doing it, people are already like, oh my god, really? And then that's already given you the positive feedback you want from other people, so the motivation to actually do it drops. So then they procrastinate the training, then they either sack it off, or they turn up, don't make it, or get injured. And the amount of people I see in gyms with feet injuries and knee injuries and hip injuries and people that have passed out.
You have to take it easy. But you've got to decide these things 6 months.
You've got to build up to it like you're doing. You've got steady. That's the way we do things, isn't it?
I mean, I've thought about sacking it off quite a few times.
I think about sacking it off daily, Edward. I think about sacking it all off.
A good mate of mine, it's his 50th birthday that weekend. He's basically hiring a pub for the weekend. And you can go and camp on the Friday and the Saturday night. But this runs on the Sunday, isn't it?
It's happening.
So I might sneak out.
Morning when you turn up.
I might sneak out for a couple on the Friday maybe, but I can't.
One of your eyes is pointing towards the other one when you turn up at the start line, smelling of booze. It's still getting done.
Whatever happens, I've explained to him that we may go and party the weekend after, but nothing's going to prevent me from doing this.
Nice. Thank you for coming down, Edward.
No problems at all.
I appreciate that.
No problems.
Thank you for watching, everybody at home as well.